Basically, I don't know what's happening. Chapter 33, I was just reading and then I was like, so that's my reenactment. This is what I read the book for. I read the book for the jaw drop moments. I just feel like I haven't had very many of them. What? No. Okay, hello, good morning. Today I have literally nothing on the agenda. And so I think it's time that I finish Onyx Storm. I have been reading this book for quite some time. It came out, did it come out in January, I think? I think it came out in January. Let me see, what was the release date on this? Okay, it came out January 21st and I got it almost a week early. So I've been reading it since the 14th, January 14th or something like that. Wasn't quite a week early. Maybe it was 5 days early. I've been reading this since mid-January. I got it early from my work. I work at a bookstore and we get new releases a little early. I have been reading it for that long. I have a tricky relationship with these books. I devoured Fourth Wing so fast. I really enjoyed it. I was super into the whole dragon thing. I liked it a lot. Iron Flame, however, took me like multiple months to get through. I feel like the writing was very different. Maybe just because there's more like war going on in the later books. It took me a long time. And now here we are. It's the first week of March. I've been reading this for like a month and a half or so, almost 2 months. And I just finished chapter 31. I'm about halfway through, like almost exactly. I'm not buying this book, I'm borrowing it from the bookstore. We have like an employee borrowing program, so we can borrow things and I need to return it on Saturday. And I would like to just be done with it because I have lots of other things that I'd like to read. Basically, I don't know what's happening. I'm really struggling with this one to keep up and like pay attention to what is going on. I just need to finish it. I really just need to finish it so I can move on and have that like voracious reading energy that I know I have. Yeah, I'm struggling to get through it. I was trying to read this morning for a bit. I only got through one chapter and the chapter was only like 4 pages, I think. I don't know what is happening. I don't know if it's my own attention span that's struggling or if it's the book itself. I don't know quite what my problem is right now. I need to return the book to the bookstore and I want to finish it. I don't want to give up on it because I want to know what happens, but I also like don't know what's happening. Like I don't like I couldn't really tell you what's happened much thus far, and we're halfway through the book. So I'm gonna finish it today. I'm gonna just sit down and read the whole thing. I'm gonna maybe go to like a coffee shop or something, read a little there. I do have a hard time reading these books in public just because there are some scenes that feel like I shouldn't be reading them in public. So we'll see if I make it out of the house. I might make it out of the house and like do something else with my time. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be plopped on the couch or on my bed trying to finish reading this book because I really want to finish it today. I'm gonna do like a tiny review at the end of this to just kind of summarize my thoughts and feelings on not just Onyx Storm, but also kind of like the Empyrean series, and kind of let you know what I think. Like I said, I loved Fourth Wing, and I really like being part of like I love seeing people talk about these books online, and that's partially why I want to read it, is I want to be part of that kind of community. Not that I interact with it at all, but I want to see the memes and see the things people are talking about and understand them, which isn't necessarily the reason to read a book, but for me it's enough. And I like being part of the hype, you know? I like that it was a really hyped up book and people were really excited to buy it, and I like that I got it early. I think that's cool. I took the cover off because I have to return it in the condition I borrowed it in so that the store can still sell it. So far this morning, all I've done is write in my journal, eat some breakfast. I made a little breakfast sandwich, and I watched some Emily in Paris. And here we are. That's all I've done. I really need to do something meaningful with my time. So I've decided that that meaningful thing today is gonna be reading Onyx Storm. Thanks for joining. Okay, I had a jaw drop moment. I'm gonna reenact it for you because I wasn't recording. I was at the bottom of page 287 at the very end of chapter 33. I was just reading and then I was like, so that's my reenactment because because I wasn't filming, so I felt like, oh my, yep. This is what I read the book for. I read the book for the jaw drop moments. I just feel like I haven't had very many of them this book, but that one was a good one.
No, just sit. You were being so good. Okay, well, that's actually not yours. It's actually not yours. No. No, thank you.
Okay, another update. I'm on page 306, so I'm doing pretty good. He really wants this camera.
I know you wanted Oats.
Okay, I'm on page 306. I've been reading for kind of a long time this morning. It's almost 11, and I've been reading, I've read, I don't know, 50 pages so far today, 40 pages.
Here he is.
He wants the book. He's really on one today. Yeah, I just finished chapter 35, the one with the chocolate cake, for those who have read it. And I'm pleasantly surprised right now. I'm enjoying some of the little surprises. The cliffhangers are pretty good. I do feel like it's just there's a lot of talking. There's just a lot of sitting around talking, and the fight scenes are kind of hard for me to follow. Maybe that's just me, but they're tricky for me to follow. I also, for those who have read it or are reading it, because the aisles don't have magic necessarily, there's less like dragon convo like in their heads. Like they're not really talking to their dragons. And so I don't know, I almost forget that the dragons are even there because they're not talking to them as much. I mean, Violet's dragons, she's definitely talking to a bit. I don't know, I miss that inner dialogue that happens in their heads, and we're not getting that. So I think I'm gonna read one more chapter and then kind of do like a little reset for the day. Since it's so late in the day, I want to like get dressed and possibly leave the house. I think I'm gonna walk to a coffee shop kind of near me and hang out and read there for a little bit, just so that I can leave the house for a little while today and do something else other than just sit on my couch. Yeah, I think that's probably what I'll do. I didn't eat a very big breakfast, and I'm starting to notice the effects of that, so I need to eat a little something as well. Oatmeal had been sitting on my lap, but as soon as I pulled out the camera, he really wants like the little wrist holder for the camera. He's even looking at it right now. He also like he's like sensing it, but he can't, I can't believe he would see that. Because you can't see very good, huh? You can't really see. So I don't know if he's actually seeing it or just hearing it, but okay. I'm gonna read for a bit more, and then I'm gonna do a little reset for the day, and then I'll do something hopefully. Yeah, I have to know kind of more about what's going on with this chocolate cake situation, and then I'm gonna move on. It's not bad, right? Oh, that actually is fine. Okay, update. It's now noon. I had a little moment, so I had to like take a minute. My head was starting to bother me a bit, and I was noticing I was getting like irritable and like frustrated with myself. I wasn't reading, I was doing something else, and I was like, why am I feeling this way? Like, I haven't done anything today. Why am I getting all irritable and frustrated? It's because I was hungry. Shocker. I forget to eat sometimes. Not like I forget to, like it wasn't noon yet, so I was like, obviously I can't eat because it's not lunchtime. You can actually eat lunch at any time of day. It's just the middle meal of the day. In my head, it's like you can't have lunch before noon, but that's just a made up rule that I don't know why I have. And it was only like 11:30. But I was hungry, so I ended up eating my lunch really early, which is something that apparently is still difficult for me to do, I guess. Had some beans and rice for lunch, some leftovers that Sam made with some avocado, and then I had some chocolate because a meal is not complete until I have had something sweet. I'm finishing a kombucha. This one's the Citrus Immune Boost. I just buy the kombuchas from Trader Joe's because they're just a little bit cheaper there. Truth be told, most kombucha flavors kind of just all taste the same to me. I really like kombucha, but they all kind of just taste the same. So I just get whatever's cheap. I feel like I forgot about kombucha for a while because I was all about like the Olipop. But they're kind of expensive, and I can get like 2 or 3 servings of these. So I've been doing the kombucha. My camera is close to dying, which is unfortunate, but I think that that's a good sign that I should go out of the house. So I'm gonna take Onyx Storm with me on an adventure out of the house. I'm on page 321. I'm just about to start chapter 38. And we're gonna take this bad boy to a coffee shop, I think, just because I need to get out of the house today. I have this little book sleeve that I made out of an old like quilted pillowcase. And it fits hardcover books pretty good. I put some little buttons on here so I can like button it closed. Pretty cute. Just to protect it, you know, since I have to bring it back to the bookstore. So I'm gonna put on my shoes and walk to a coffee shop, get out of the house, read a little more, and then head home. I'm starting to think that this may be a 2-day finishing Onyx Storm, and I may have to finish it tomorrow because I'm starting to get a little tired of doing the same thing all day, but I could definitely finish it by tomorrow if I did like another 100 pages today. So I'm gonna go on a little adventure, get myself out of the house, buy myself a matcha, and just try to like find some zen. I'm a little like anxious today, and I need to dispel that by reading about dragons with a matcha latte in my hand. So off I go. Okay, I've returned from my outing. I managed to leave the house. Round of applause. I changed when I got home because I was warm from walking, and it's like a weird kind of like warm but cloudy but drizzly kind of day. So windows are open, t-shirts on, book update. Okay, so I read quite a bit, actually, quite a bit more at the coffee shop than I thought I was going to. I was kind of more so going to just like get myself something to drink, less so to actually get any reading done, but the comfy chairs were open, so I took it. And look at, this is how much I've read, and this is how much I have left. So I've actually read quite a bit today. I still have about 150 pages left, so it's possible that I could finish today. Yeah, things are picking up though. I feel like one of my problems has been that I am not like, because I'm reading it kind of slowly, I'm not dedicating a big enough chunk of time to remember what's going on, to remember who people are. There's a lot of names in this book. Like, I'm forgetting who some of these people are. Like, there's like the core group that I can remember, but like as we're learning, meeting new people, there's like people names, there's dragon names, there's place names, and there's the names of like the gods, and they all have similar vibes to them. It's difficult for me to know sometimes, like I'm like, is this person a person, or are they a dragon, or are they an island, or like I need a minute to remember. Luckily, however, there is like a guide at the beginning of the book. You know what is unfortunate though is the map does not show the islands, which I think is probably on purpose, knowing Miss Rebecca, but it is nice. So there is a list at the beginning, which I do appreciate, of the character names, their dragons and or griffins, and their abilities, which is nice. It's so hard to remember still. I'm really glad that I have the physical one and not the ebook this time. I did the ebook for Iron Flame, and it would have been hard to like go back and forth to that on my Kindle, but things are picking up. I'm enjoying it more. I'm finding myself like reading the chapters more quickly, and I do think it's because I'm reading them, like I'm reading a lot today, right? So I'm able to remember what just happened, and I'm not stopping after just a few pages at a time. There's just a lot of words on a page in this book, so it just takes a while. I'm interested to see how this ends. I don't know if I'm gonna get to the end today still. Like I'm finding that I'm kind of getting a little bored of just like sitting, and I need to do some like movement and like accomplishing of some things today. So I might take a little break, another break. I know I went for a walk, but I might need to do something a little more satisfying to complete my day. Maybe I'll take like a little sewing break or something. I don't know, like just for like an hour, and then hop back into it. I have a hard time sitting still for this long. Maybe I'll do a little sewing, take a little sewing break, and then come back to it this afternoon. I'm sure Sam and I will do quite a bit of reading once he gets home. We like to, when he gets home, just kind of have some chill time on the couch. But I'm on chapter 43, so I'm making my way. I don't know how many chapters are in it. Okay, 66 chapters. That's a lot of chapters. I'm gonna take a little break, and then I'm gonna dive back in. Okay, so the sun came out a little bit. You can't really tell right now. It was out a minute ago. And I went to sit outside, and then I was like, you know, I do need to sew something. Like, it'll make me feel so much better if I like make something today. And so I was like, I'm gonna make a cushion to sit on outside because we have these chairs outside, but we don't have any cushions or anything. And I've had these like packs of foam cushions sitting in the garage literally since I moved in here. So like 2 years ago, I've had these. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to finally use them today. So I cannot believe how cute this is. I made this little cushion cover with a tiny little bow on it because I didn't have any zippers. And I want them to be removable so I can wash them. So now I just, out of an old bed sheet, so I just like tucked it between the layers and then put this little bow on. And now I have a cute cushion. The fabric is washable, but it's not like outdoor material. It's literally a cotton bed sheet. So I'm gonna need to bring them inside when I'm not using them. But it's so cute and I feel so accomplished now. And it took me, what, a half hour to make it? So I'm gonna make the other one and then I'm gonna go back to reading. Will I ever finish Onyx Storm? Am I finding things to do? Like crafts to make so that I don't have to read? That's not actually the case. I'm enjoying it right now, but I'm also enjoying crafting. So I'm going to make my other cushion and I'm gonna show you what I did because it was really easy. And I'm gonna do one more. I don't even know that it needs explanation because it was so easy. Also, I took my ring off. Where did it go? There it is. I took my ring off because I went to the bathroom and I had to wash my hands. Okay, let me show you what I did. Okay, you're propped on my pile of things to alter at the moment. I have this sheet laid out and then I just laid the pieces of cushion down. I made sure I had enough going up the side. Like I'm wrapping a present, kind of. Little pull, so I'm like literally just like I'm wrapping a present. I'm a very type A person, but when it comes to sewing, I literally have no plan and I never follow a pattern. I've got like my presents chunk and I'm just gonna cut it. Problem with sewing without a plan is it's really hard to replicate what you've done. So basically I'm gonna sew it up on the top here, the side here, and then once it's all sewn up, the extra I can just like tuck in here. I don't know that I'll have enough. Hopefully I will. I had like tons of extra fabric on the other one. So the idea is I'll just tuck it in and then sew the material for the bow on here. That's the vision. Let's see if I can replicate it now. Foam is just like sticking to itself, but I think I did make it the right size. Not too bad. You see I have like these sandwich layers. I can just tuck the extra material between them and now it's like a mouth, right? Keep it all together. That's why we make the bow. I have like a strip. I'm gonna fold it, turn it inside out, and then attach it. Easy peasy. And now I'm just gonna sew them on the pillow by hand. I could probably do it on the machine, but I'm gonna do it by hand. And there they are. There are the ties. And now I can just tie them into a little bow. I mean, gingham and a bow. Sounds like me. Okay, I'm gonna go bring them outside. It's so like me to come up with a project to procrastinate other projects. It's pretty cute. Okay, it's not breaking, so that's good. Hello, it's a bit later now and I'm prepping some things for dinner. we're gonna have a veggie chickpea curry tonight. So I'm making some homemade non-inspired flatbread. There's a recipe that I found that's a little more involved than what I'm doing right now. I just have some yeast that I proofed with warm water and sugar, and then I have salt and flour, and that's all I'm putting in it. And then once it's risen, I'm going to like flatten it out and cook it. That's the plan on the stove. We are a big fan of Outdoor Boys in this house. We watch him pretty much every single night, and he makes this flatbread when he's camping, and it just looks so good all the time. So we make it probably once a week these days, and it's really good. Super simple. You can have it with pretty much anything, and tonight we're having it with a veggie curry. So I have to prep it now. It's a few hours before we're gonna eat, but it has to rise. So like I said, I've got our flour, I've got our yeast. I'm gonna start with a spatula, and then I'm gonna mix with my hands. I often find that I don't have enough liquid, so I just add water until it's like the right texture. I'd rather it be more liquidy than dry. I literally just add water straight from the faucet until it's the right consistency. I think it's probably ready for me to go in with my hands. Okay, the dough's usually pretty wet and sticky when I'm done with it. So sticky, and then I just have to let it proof on the stove. I just like set it there. There's nothing on the stove. That's just like a warm place in the house with a towel over it for a couple hours, or until it's visibly changed in size. I wonder if I'm done procrastinating reading yet. Will I ever finish though? Do you think I'll ever finish this book, Oats? Maybe if I actually sit down and read.
Honey?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Missed you.
I missed you. I have my camera on, just so you know. I was recording myself, and then Oatmeal sat down, and now I can't get up. Hi.
Hi. Sorry, viewers.
Well, you can do whatever you want. I can always cut it out. Ooh, that one looks so good. You can probably keep it out.
Yep.
Yep. You know what?
It's very sour.
Yeah, lemons typically are.
Love you.
I love you too. Hopefully you can hear me over the heater. It's the next day. I did not finish last night. This is how much I have left, and I think I can finish it possibly this morning. It's just over 100-ish pages. I have to leave the house in an hour, so I don't know if it'll be right now, but I think I could probably finish it today. Maybe some this evening. We will see what damage I can do. I'm on the final chapter. I'm gonna record as I read the final chapter here. I'm scared. What? No. What? Okay. Okay, give me a minute. I have to talk about the book now. I've taken a minute to collect myself and my thoughts. And here's what I will say. It was better than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, you're on the bookshelf. Hold on. Okay, I have noticed with these books that I'm bored for like the first half or 75%, and then that last quarter, like last 100 pages, I'm like, I eat it up. And that kind of happened. I was really interested kind of in that final portion. I do feel like it wasn't like, it was, I definitely had to get myself to read it. Does that make sense? Like I wasn't necessarily like excited to read. I just like needed to. Does that make sense? I feel like I like had to read, not necessarily that I wanted to. And that's not really how I want to feel when I'm reading. I want to like really want to read. If I wasn't on a time crunch to return this book to work, maybe I'd feel differently. I don't know that I jive with Rebecca Yarros's writing style a lot. I feel like there's a lot of chunks of things that get skipped over. We cut from scene to scene a lot, and I'm not one for like spice in those books that much. Like when I read a fantasy book, I want to be reading like the fantasy part of it, and I forget that there are like spicy scenes, and then when they happen I'm like shocked and like I forget that they're there. I do skip them a bit, like a skim, because it's not my thing, especially in a fantasy book. Now I read romance books, but like I'm not necessarily reading them for the spice, you know what I mean? I have a few hot takes, and they will include some spoilers to things that happen in the book. So obviously I'm assuming if you've gotten this far, you've already read the book and or read some of the books in the series, so beware. I'm gonna spoil some things. I think Xaden and Violet got together really fast, to the point where like their declarations of love for one another and kind of their chemistry, it feels like a little much now. It's not that exciting, and it feels like a little much. Like I think a lot of problems would be solved if they broke up. Does that make sense? I know that technically they can't break up. Well, I guess they could, they just can't die. The other one can't die. I think it'd be better for them if they broke up. Like and maybe the point is that they're toxic, but they're like really, I just feel like they're not a good match. The stuff with Andarna I liked. Dragons is the reason I'm reading the thing in the first place, so I like the stuff with Andarna. I like the whole dragon bond thing. I find that cool. I liked kind of the like second signet stuff was cool. I like the big reveals. The big reveals were good. I still like, maybe this is my fault for not reading closely, but like I still kind of don't understand what, like now that this book is done, kind of like what their big overarching, like who are they fighting? Are they just fighting the concept of venom? I think that is a little unclear to me. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I missed something because I was reading too fast, but I don't know that I get that part. I'm not like invested in their goal, I guess. I feel like and here's my other thing. The pacing is so weird, and I felt like the pacing was really weird in the second book specifically, because like at the end of Fourth Wing, they're like out of the school, right? They're out of Basgiath, and like things are escalating, right? And then in Iron Flame, they go back to the school and they spend most of the book there. And I felt like things were finally ramping up for some like beyond adventures outside of the school, outside of the classroom, like being forced to learn on the journey, not in the classroom kind of thing. And yet we spend, even in this book, we spend way too much time in Battle Brief. And it's a little boring for me. Pacing is weird. Like they have these, like in this book specifically, like the stuff with the Isles was pretty cool. And I wish that there had been like a little bit more about them. And we had just spent more of the book with the Isles and like if the whole book had been them going to the different Isles, I think that would have been better, but we only spend like a chapter at each one. The trials were weird. I didn't love it. I wish the trials had been like a little more explained, and like I don't know, it felt like a weird dream, like the one with like the cards where they have different gifts. I feel like that was like a weird fever dream that I had. Like it just feels weird, and that's maybe the point. All that to say, I'm probably gonna read the last two. I am gonna consider doing audiobooks for the last two. Or ebooks maybe. Maybe the physical is just not for me. It's a big book. It's a hardcover because I want to read it right when it comes out. And I have a hard time literally holding it. Like it literally, it's more difficult to bring places. It's more difficult to read before bed. The pages have so much text on them that it, like my eyes start to hurt, like and get like, I get blurry vision just trying to read for that long of a chunk of time. I probably will give it like a 3 or 4 stars, 3 stars probably, 3.5. I don't know, I need to think about my rating. I usually like sit on my rating for a minute and decide. I'm still percolating. I need to like talk to my friends about it who have read it, because we need to discuss. I need to look at some memes. I was telling my friend earlier, I'm like, this is the reason I read these books, is like I want to feel included in the memes. My time is over and I'm ready to move on to my next book. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, and tell me your thoughts on Onyx Storm below, because I need to know if I'm alone in this. Okay.